This stop is East New York Avenue South and Utica Avenue. East New York Avenue and Schenectady Avenue. New York Avenue. This stop is Troy Avenue and East New York Avenue. This stop is Troy Avenue and Empire Boulevard. Please exit through the rear door. Next stop, Troy Avenue and Montgomery Street. This stop is Troy Avenue and Montgomery Street. Avenue and Perry Street. Please exit through the rear door. This stop is Charlie Avenue and Perry Street.
All right, thank you. Have a good night, eh? Appreciate it. Okay. All right, so I said okay. Then you start using the siren. Okay, what does okay means? It means okay. Does it mean something? Huh? Does it mean something else? I'm telling you. Bunch of criminals, bunch of dumbasses. All right, let me tell you, they're gonna get what's coming to them. That's for certain. They're gonna get what's coming to them. Oh yeah. Your fire department using their sirens. I'm looking down at my boots. All right, and then I looked at my pointing finger. And they start using their sirens. Again, they're very slick in terms of what it is that they do, but like I said, sooner or later they're going to come out, because one thing you should know about dark tribe personality traits, particularly those in positions of authority, right, is that though you will expose them, right, and they will go back into their hole wherever they come from, but they will formulate and they will plot, and they will come back again, and you got to expose them even more. You got to expose them even more. So no matter what they do, right? You know, using the alarm. Right? Usually when they're this active, you'll usually see and hear the fire truck. Right? You don't hear it, so they gotta use other form of noise campaign. Right? Because they're cowards. Now talk about cowards. Be proud and be strong. If you're strong and proud, and you're not committing crimes against me, why do you hide it? All right? Why do you want me not to expose it? Right? Come on now. You gotta think. You gotta think. Like I said, their time is coming. All right? They're hunting of black men, in particular, and black boys, and black women, black girls. You know, these predators, they're gonna become the hunted. Right? You're gonna give them a taste of their medicine and see how they like it. Right? You know, they always tell you, right? You see, they never think about their karma. They never think about getting a taste of their own medicine. You see, that's the delusion of having a belief, of having a believer's mindset. Because you believe you can do whatever you want to anybody else, and nothing is going to happen to you. But you're wrong about that. Like I said, their day is coming. All right? And those who understand the truth and what's going on, you'll see, we will be vindicated. All right? They would rather vote for wealthy people who commit some of the worst crimes. Child molesters, child abusers, those that hunt black people, those that use black women for their fetus, impregnate them and pay them to have abortion so they can, you know, stay young. I mean, this is the sick shit that this is what majority of my people worship, and these are the Negropeans. I'm sad to say, but the majority of black people are Negropeans. The very few black people that have consciousness, have some sense of awareness, we are the very few. But they worship celebrities who do nothing for them, and then talk about Jesus. And they worship money. And they go into the church and the pastor talk all kind of bullshit. Oh yeah. The pastors talk about, see, the reason why I said what I said, because I know they're going to show up and I know they're going to start the noise campaign. That's why I said, you know, you can't hear them now, because they're going to play exactly into the truth, right? And what it is that I say. Okay? Because it's the truth. All right? So the pastors, they get in there, they talk about Jesus. Right? They got our women, wanting to live a luxury lifestyle, and they think that they can manipulate men into giving them that lifestyle, and they're going to do whatever they can to manipulate men and to try to entrap men. Right? This is what happens when you condition, particularly women are easily conditioned when it comes to money. Women worship money. Like I said, you don't see that. I mean, you've seen the Lizzos, we've seen the Gabby, the big woman that played Precious, and we've seen that they have money, but guess what? Black men ain't doing that, particularly when they talk about us in such a disparaging way. But we also see that they'll lose the weight for white men. We see that all the time, and it's a slap in our face. Because when we tell them to lose the weight, they get upset. Love me as I am, right? I want you to look at the reality, my brothers. This is for my black men. Look at the reality. When we ask them to lose the weight, they tell us that it's insulting, and we should love them for who they are. Right? When they have their nasty attitude, they'll tell you, you better take me as I am because I ain't changing. But they want you to change. But they'll change for the Chads, as the late great Kevin Samuel says. They'll change for the Chads, the Enriques, the Mohammeds. They'll change, right? They'll change. But for the men in their group, no. And it's not, I keep saying, it's not their fault, right? And we as black men have to attempt to help them come into some form of consciousness and understanding. But we are dealing with people who are expert at manipulation, of psychological manipulation, of brainwashing, and they've taught it to a lot of their people, right, to destroy the minds of our people, particularly our women, particularly in the workplace. You hear that? What you banging, bro? What you banging? Right? Particularly in the workplace. This is why you see a woman behaving the way they behave. And when they come to the realization that the very few men that they want, right? And again, the type of men that they describe, and I keep saying, you got to look at it as cognitive warfare, right? Because again, there's only a certain amount of men that makes a certain amount of money, and that's in every society. So how is it that our women in mass think that every man, or think that there's a large pool of men that are making over 6 figures? Right? Our women are the only group of women in mass that think that way. There's a saying when it comes to cognitive warfare is that you don't see cognitive warfare, right? You don't see it. You can't see it. You don't see the coercive persuasion programming, all right? At least very few people can see it. But what you do see is the result of it, all right? And the result will always be negative against those in which cognitive warfare and coercive persuasion programming is waged on, all right? It's not for it's not to help, right? It's not to help, right? It's not to help. It is to destroy. And so when Negropeans are lied to into believing that they're trying to help you, they're not trying to help you. That is the manipulation tactics that they use to get you involved, right, in what is called a catch-22, in which that you become criminalized, right, by the crimes that you are committing, and because those of positions of authority want you to believe it's not a crime, you go along with it. Right? This is what they do. This is what Jeffrey Epstein had done to a lot of celebrities, a lot of politicians. Right? You have corporations that will engage in this. We know that the CIA, the FBI have engaged in these sort of things, and they have brought it within the lower level of society. Yeah, I see you looking back. I see you. All right? I see you. I see you watching. I can tell you that they watch my video, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? They get to learn something. But the Negropeans don't want to watch it because they just want to believe. All right? And like I talk about, they always talk about karma. and think that they're going to escape it, right? At least their version of karma, not the original meaning of karma, because the Europeans will always take shit and weaponize it against other groups of people. But it's funny how they never think about they getting their karma, right? All the shit that they do. But you know why? Because again, they don't though. Because we support their nonsense. We believe them. Right? And they can, when they see society becoming more and more educated, is the more they're going to lash out against people within the society. It's like white people, right? It's like when they see black people elevated, there's always going to be a white backlash. When black people in America was building communities and doing good, working hard, they burn on everything and then call black people lazy. When black people as a nation start to gather wealth, right, they cause stock market crashes. They engage in predatory behavior towards black people within the financial system and within the real estate industry, right? That's all backlash for white people having any sort of economic upliftment. The one thing that they are truly afraid of, other than black people waking up and becoming aware and conscious about the system and what it does, is economic upliftment for black people. They don't want that, right? So they're going to always do these things. This is what we need to understand. All right, and President Trump in the White House is not God's punishment for white people. Stop that nonsense. Okay? Because when Trump gets impeached, if he gets impeached, guess who's next in line? Okay, another white supremacist, a younger one, a more radicalized one. Okay? Then what? Then what you going to say? Huh? Then what you going to say? See, again, we like to think short term. They think long term. The Republicans, the racist white liberals have been planning together. They've plotted together. As long as they can keep us at the bottom, that's all that matters. Their greatest fear is black people coming into consciousness, as Dr. Amos Wilson said. They are afraid of the consciousness of black women. There's a book that I have. It's called Black Consciousness. I forgot the person who wrote the book. Right, but I read that book a long time ago. Right? Because again, they're afraid of a good example of what democracy looks like, of what freedom looks like, because they don't want us to be free. Right? So they engage in all sorts of manipulation, all sorts of tactics. And like I tell them, my purpose is greater than theirs. A lot greater. The hell did he do? I tell you, I want you, the weird shit that they do. I guess he want to be on camera. That's what it is. He wants to be on video. Okay, buddy, I'm gonna put you on video. I'm gonna put you on video. He just walked over here and took his phone up and pressed the, I don't know what he did. Did he take a picture of the building or some shit like that? I don't even know what the hell he did. But yeah. They are always plotting, always scheming. I keep telling them, my purpose is greater than theirs. There is no fear here. There is no fear because I'm going to expose everything that they've done. And they don't want that. They don't want, listen, you don't think I know that again, the subliminal message are plotting to assassinate me? Because they don't want the truth to come out. They don't want they'll say, well, or like the Jeffrey Epstein, or he hang himself or some shit like that. That'll never happen. Okay? That'll never happen. You hear the sirens? See, when I get real deep, that's what they'll do. But I love it. I love it because, again, they can't, like I said, ain't no fear here. It'll never happen. It will never happen. Not anymore. Once I begin to realize what it is that they were doing. To try to suppress black consciousness. Right? When black people rise, they get afraid. They get afraid. And why do they get afraid? Right? It is that programming in their mind that they have to continue to keep us at the bottom because of their mental illness, their white supremacist mindset. Right? Oh yeah. Anyhow. Oh yeah. Let me tell you, when they speak the truth, they don't even want you to speak the truth because it shadows their deception, their manipulation, their lies. Their lies. Okay? They're not going to speak. They're not going to tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you the truth. But they will engage in deception and lying. But that's who they are. Oh yeah. Anyhow, talk to you guys in the next video.